Do your thing, Woody.
There we go. All right, we're good.
Mustard.
That is a hell of a way to open the show.
That is so extra.
That is not how you do a promo, sir.
It's a school night, sir. It's a school night, sir.
That is not how you cut a promo.
Oh, this is my third recording / live stream, and I have another one in 11 hours. You know how it is. You know, I keep my.
Do you have honest question? Because since we're all like hosts for our own respective podcasts, have you guys ever had like, I guess like podcast confusion or something, where like you're on one show but you think is another show, and you do the intro for that show, you're like, it's too late. Like, you just
early on, yeah. Early on, yeah. Because like, of course, you know how it used to be. Like we were recording every damn week, and like, yeah, like when you're doing like that much, like over and over and over, it's
right.
like. And of course, I can only imagine how in Crunk's case, I'm like, dog, I'd be.
My brain just completely wipes. Like it's not even. I will just be like, you know, when a team tries to score, like that's it's.
And there's the brain fog, folks. There is the brain
fog. But this is your favorite wrestling podcast. I haven't even actually introed the pod yet. It's just been, you know, cold open. And we are here to talk Royal Rumble. It is WrestleMania season, but we're here to talk Royal Rumble. I am Crunk Chocolate, and you know, Grego, we're gonna have to figure out some new thing because Grego and I we used to do like a nice little where we look at each other, and we got a third. It is me, it's Grego, and Yogi. Like I said, we're officially
like I've been saying for the last few shows. You know what's better than a tag team? It's a faction.
We're a faction, baby. I like that.
I'm about to say, I was like, please don't let it be a trio. So I'm like, please don't let it be that. But yes, no. I like faction. Faction works.
There you go. Faction always works. Unless you're the God damn it.
Unless you're the Death Riders, and then I'll be like, no, we need something.
There we go. That's what I was going to use.
We definitely need something else to, but yeah, action works. Action works.
Oh, if you are watching on YouTube, thumbs up, like, subscribe, hello. If you're listening on a podcasting app, hello. Rate, review, 5 stars, please and thank you. And if you see a post on social media, follow us, retweet, reskeet, quote tweet. There we go. It's tough. I got to get that other word out of my brain, and I'm getting there, but it takes some time. Yeah,
I forgot all the various reskeeting and quotes. I forgot all the actual names for it, but yeah, we're doing all the things. We're doing all the things.
Find us, baby. We're here to talk Royal Rumble, and I figured we would just start off and we'll start with the men's, then we go over to the women's, and that's kind of how we'll bounce back and forth with all of the questions, and we'll end it going over the 2, I guess, championship matches that have been announced for Royal Rumble so far. But the men, it's we'll go by the names that have been announced, and then we'll fantasy book the rest. We have LA Knight, John Cena, CM Punk, Jey Uso, Roman Reigns, Seth freaking Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Rey Mysterio, Sami Zayn, Shinsuke Nakamura, Logan Paul, Penta, Chad Gable, Braun Breaker, and Carmelo Hayes.
Solid lineup. Solid. Very solid. It's not bad. Very solid lineup. That's like for this generation, that's about as loaded as you can get.
Yeah, I don't think they're really. I mean, you're not really missing anyone per se. Like, I can't think of anyone of note. Maybe Jimmy Uso, but you're not really missing anyone.
Yeah. Hold on, is Jacob? Did I miss Jacob?
I mean, I guess I haven't seen it quite.
Yeah. No, yet. Jacob hasn't announced it. So you're right. Maybe Jacob Fox
haven't announced quite yet.
Yeah,
Tama
like,
Tonga, not Tama Tonga.
yeah. They gotta be up in there. Like I said, especially after what happened at Saturday night's main event with Jacob. I'm like, dog, like you're not even expecting him to win. I think this is a matter of just showing up, wrecking shit, and leaving, possibly even costing Roman the Royal Rumble. But yeah, you
Yeah,
got to
and
keep
that's
that
what I
heat
assume
going.
will happen. Honestly, he'll probably cost a few people. He'll get in the way of some people's stories, type of vibes.
Yeah, like he about to wreck shit. So let's go.
Yeah, and I'm okay. And
Did y'all already review Saturday's main event, or did we? I don't know.
that was Tuesday. That was
That was
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah. So let me just say this real quick.
Okay.
Jacob got made that night. He got fucking made. Like the fact that like the entrance bars that he lays before like every entrance, I'm like those are becoming such heat like it makes no sense. And then just the fact that you really let him go on national TV, straight up like maul one of your biggest guys, both physically and literally, on the roster. Like I don't know like how you could have made him look even bigger and badder than anything that you have right now. Like Jacob Jacob got unleashed officially that night,
Yeah.
and bruh, like it's about to be some real trouble for a lot of people. I'm like, this is what we've been waiting for with Jacob. Like it's on now. It's absolutely on now. But yeah, nonetheless, continue.
No, I'm with it. So the next question is of I guess all of the people who have been announced, who is your pick to win?
Oh. So let's backtrack real quick because I think one thing that needs to be talked about real quick is the promo between Cody and CM Punk.
Yeah.
And just how good that was on Monday night. I find it the way they set that one up. It's very hard to see Cody against anybody else at Mania now. It's like that, like the jewels they laid in that promo. I'm like, if it's not Punk, I'm like, is anybody else really going to do like it could even be Roman at this point? It's like, nah, that's the one that like there was just so much meat on the bone with what they did. And mind you, don't forget the one they did a year ago, before Punk got hurt. Like there's some good stuff right there that I feel like if they went there, especially like Punk asked the right question. I think a lot of people have been wanting to ask. I feel like in this promo because like Cody's been getting more and more aggressive lately,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, and Punk just asked he asked a real homie question like, "Are you okay?"
Mm.
And like I feel like, and he laid just so many good points there. That was like, you know what? I feel like if they're not at least thinking about turning Cody heel, I think that they probably have like, you know what? This could happen.
It's coming.
Yeah,
It's coming.
Yeah,
It's
It's
coming.
100%.
It's coming.
because
I can't wait.
that promo on Monday night, if there was ever a more Homelander moment, it's like you need me. That's all I wanted to say is, hey, you fucking need me. Like y'all love me here, and y'all need me here. 'Cause I do this shit. But yeah,
Evil Cody is going to do numbers.
it really is. It really is.
It's going to
Like,
do numbers.
intentionally and unintentionally, it's still going to do such good numbers. I feel like, especially with Roman being a babyface now, I feel like Triple H does better when he has a heel on top, and I feel like now that Roman's a heel, Cody can be that heel now, or Roman's that babyface now.
Kind of start blurring the lines. I feel like on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're definitely doing that. They're definitely doing that.
So I think about it like this: like who would benefit the most from winning the Royal Rumble, and who just need to have a good showing in the Royal. And I think like there's maybe only if you look at the 15, there's maybe only 4 who truly need that WrestleMania shot. I agree to CM Punk,
Mm-hmm.
John Cena.
I can see it.
I'm not gonna put Seth or Drew in there because I think there's still a lot there that you can use them for other storylines and parts.
The way things are going, I don't feel it but I don't feel like they're going that way. But at the same time, remember, I feel like, especially given how they left things last year at WrestleMania, it would make more sense now if they wanted to do Cody and Cody and well, first of all, Cody and Roman, but also Seth and I keep on getting twisted up. Seth and Roman, but then also Seth and Cody.
Yeah. So I mean that leaves me to because I said CM Punk, Cena. I hate to say it as much as I hate him as a person, Logan Paul,
Mm-hmm.
and this is throwing that out there. This is like the wild card.
Damian Priest.
No, Chad Gable.
Oh, I would love that. Like
Chad
that.
Gable.
That's best case scenario, and when I mean best case scenario, that's the Royal Rumble doing what the Royal Rumble would do best is like instantly putting the rocket on somebody's back and just shooting them to
the moon.
Yeah. And
but did that? I think we went no, but I can see those 4 because and then the other category you got to look at. You got the question over here is like who's the person who's going to last the long? Because I think like the Royal Rumble, like the Royal Rumble really helps out 2 wrestlers the best. Whoever wins it, whoever goes the longest.
Mm-hmm.
Like those 2 wrestlers usually kind of get the push, to WrestleMania and SummerSlam and all that stuff. And I mean, honestly, everyone will say it's probably going to be Jacob Fatu. But I mean, another wrestler who I want to throw out there who might be about that life, Braun Breaker.
I do think he'll definitely have he's going to show up for sure.
Eliminate a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Because like I mean that's who will take out the most entrants. Jacob Fatu, he's a good one. Obafemi's also a good one because I think he's probably going to come in and he would be able to like go against Jacob Fatu and obviously lose to Jacob Fatu, but he would not be afraid of going up against Jacob Fatu, and that'd be really cool. Because that
I can see that.
Because it's one of those things. It's like, who do you think is going to pop in? Because I didn't give so many. There's still more 13 more names that really they can bring in. And
see, that's the thing is like I kind of feel like they're so loaded between both Raw and SmackDown, not to mention the guys that you might want to feature from NXT. I kind of feel like they should really consider expanding it to 40. I feel like
no, keep it at 30. But I will say this: since we're on this topic, my bad, I got too excited there. You know me. I think this is my role on the show, and this is the reason why you guys keep inviting me on, is because I'm a great fantasy booker.
Okay.
So sit back, folks, enjoy this while I fantasy book the Royal Rumble. Now, what did WWE just do, my fellow folks, a few weeks ago? What company did they just sign?
Okay. Are you about to Joe Hendry? Sorry, I didn't mean to like cut it short.
So, no. You're right. These just signed TNA. Now, if you want to show that promotion here, you do a couple of things. One, you bring in Joe Hendry because he has a great theme song. And what gets the crowd hyped more at a Royal Rumble is that song.
It is.
If you go through the roster, there's a couple of people you can bring in. And we'll just say we have 5 slots for TNA, right? We have 5. Since we have 15, we have 5 slots for TNA.
Let's say 3.
I think
okay, I'll go with 3. We'll go with 3. 3 for TNA, 5 or so for NXT, and then the rest are for old heads, fill-ins, whatever.
Honestly, I don't feel like they need a whole lot of old heads. Like maybe 2, maybe.
Or guys are surprise appearances. So like your Biggies,
that's what I mean. Yeah,
people like that. So like this is from TNA, and I just looked at the list, and these are some people who, honestly, they would get a pop. Joe Hendry. You also got the Hardys if you want to pull that card. If not, you don't have to. You don't have to. But
I can see it. I can see it.
But, I kind of hope not. I feel like they respectfully, well, not Matt obviously, because Matt went and did his own thing, but like Jeff is kind of pissed away every single chance that WWE.
If it's just a
one-off, you don't have to. You don't have to build on
That's
it.
how it always starts, though. That's how it always starts.
You just throw him out there, give him the pop. That's it. We're not signing him. They're sticking in TNA because of the tag champs.
Yeah.
But this is someone else you could throw out there, and I guarantee you it will get a pop. Matt Cardona.
Okay.
Matt Cardona, 1. Mustafa Ali.
Maybe.
I don't think so.
I see your thinking there.
Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah. Dolph Ziggler, yes. Dolph Ziggler,
so
yes.
if we go with 3, you get Joe Hendry, Dolph Ziggler, and I'll throw in Mustafa Ali. Or if you want to use like one of those slots for an old school pick, you can go Tommy Dreamer.
Yeah, I can see that.
If you want to go old school,
actually busted open, that'd be funny because he'd be that guy who'd come in and immediately get taken out. And I'm in 5 for NXT works great because I while everybody was talking, I made a list of all the possible people who could be in it. I like went through the roster and I wrote down names, and specifically 5 NXT people popped up: Obafemi, Trick Williams, Tony D'Angelo,
I like that.
Javon Evans, and Lexis King.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
You got to get in Ethan.
But also,
we can take one of those TNA slots and give it to NXT.
That's fine. Is because he's still doing kind of like the angry man. He's still kind of.
You got to get a heel up in there somehow. You got to.
Lexis King, is he a good guy now?
No, that's the whole thing. But yeah, I would say he's leaning more babyface, even though people expect him to.
He's making the change. That's exciting.
He's trying to do right for himself. Trying to do right for him and William Regal. I would say that definitely Obafemi, definitely Trick. I can definitely see an argument for Javon since he just came back.
Because he could come in and he could do he could do like 4 spots. Yeah,
he can get bouncy and then get
on the rope, top ropes. Why is he on the top ropes? And he does a bunch of cool stuff, and then gets on the top rope, and then gets pushed off, and
it gets bounced out.
Yeah, exactly. Like he does 3 real fun spots while there's tons of people in there, so he has a bunch of people he can fall on, and he's nice, he's safe, but he can go as crazy as he wants because he's gonna fall on like 10 guys. So I think it works.
So make sure we did the math right. We got 5 NXT. We got 3 TNA. That gives us 8, 15. That's like what? 26? 22. So we still got 8 spots left.
Yeah.
I throw this name out there, and I present to you Aleister Black.
I think they're still trying to work out his deal, because I think he's still under contract with AEW till next month.
Don't give a damn.
I mean, if it can work, it can work. But I think that as it stands,
bring that man home.
He's definitely coming back. I just don't think he's gonna be at the Rumble.
All right,
he needs a new move because I am not overwhelmed by a fucking roundhouse.
I mean, he's a vibe. He's a vibe.
Yeah.
Until he wants to wrestle and his finisher is a roundhouse.
No.
Chill
Hey,
out, Chuck Norris.
honestly, if he was a more hysterical character, you know what voiceover they should have for his finishing move is like the Family Guy Roundhouse. Roundhouse.
I thought you were gonna say the guy that says Toasty from Mortal Kombat, but yeah.
Oh, no.
No, because I will say this, because I definitely see where you're coming from, Kronk, especially because like with everything that kind of like went and didn't go with his AEW run, I could definitely see why people will be lukewarm. But I also just go back to he's one of a lot of guys that were in NXT back when Triple H was running it that they just did a shit ton better back when Triple H was running it. And it's like
Yeah.
once they got moved up to the main roster and they got exposed to the old man, it just got sideways because the old man was just off the shit.
Yeah.
I would say that he stands a much better chance this time around, but at the same time, yeah, it just you got to get there first, and I feel like um, he'll do better, but at the same time, if he's going to pop off, he's going to have to pop off quickly because
Yes.
right now, like all things considered, the especially on the main event side, it's real hard to break into that because
I'm just not moved by him.
It's thick. It's thick right now.
He's a great mid card. He'd be an amazing mid card, but
Who?
like Alistair.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Honestly, he will fit great in like that Karrion Cross and the Wyatt Six kind of atmosphere.
Yeah.
Anything
the spooky
with
shit.
Anything with Wyatt Six.
Yeah, the spooky shit.
I mean,
so okay, are we in agreement or not?
I think he'll be fine. I think he'll be fine. It's just like I think that hope like if nothing else, I feel like, and we talked about this a couple weeks ago, like those who have jumped over from AEW usually show out really quickly as far as like, oh, that's why you're a big deal because, and this is why AEW kind of fumbled you and everything. And I feel like if nothing else, the presentation will be there. It's just a matter of what they do from that. Because I mean, if you can make, honestly, I had very little hope in Penta going off of what he did in AEW, but like they've managed to turn things around in a matter of 2 weeks with that dude. I'm like, it's fucking magic right now.
Okay.
Oh, another one. So another one that gives us what 23. All right, so 24.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Make sure I say his name because I already messed up. Oh God, the big black guy. Almost. Awesome. Almost.
So actually, with him, he just got called back home because he was doing this thing out in Japan for a quick second, and I thought he was going to be out there longer. So I was like, I'm actually kind of bummed that he's not out. That he's not still out there because I feel like if nothing else, he should be out there like basically creating a legend of Omos, like wherever he goes. Like you go for a little while in Japan, then you go for a little while in Europe, and maybe you do a little something in Mexico as well, and then you come back here. It's like, yeah, like I heard about Omos do, body slamming 7 guys in Japan one time. I was in Amsterdam and I heard he drank the whole bar down, like shit like that. That just makes him look larger in life because that's not a guy that you can just book your every week creative around because he's just that's that much of an anomaly.
Yeah,
but I'm pretty sure he'll have at least I do see a Royal Rumble appearance for him, but I'd be like, yeah, go back out to Japan and keep doing your thing.
But I'm kind of tired of the almost showing up, and it takes like 12 people to lift him up, and that's like everything that everybody's doing for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, but that's a spot that they always look for. There's certain spots.
Yes.
I mean, when you're that big, you got to sell that shit because you can't just be like, I'm getting knocked out with a super kick. It's just not gonna work that way.
Yeah. Okay. So another person who we could throw out there. I'm just looking through the WWE roster. I would like to propose the New Day, both of them, and I have a fun spot have a fun spot for the New Day. So Kofi and New Day comes out. They come out around the same number, so say 12 and 13, right? They come on down to the ring. They get booed massively. Go into the ring, and you know how Kofi normally did the spot where he would get knocked out of the ring, he would do some magical stuff to stay in. Nope. Soon as they get in the room, everyone, regardless of in the ring, if they're heel or not, turns their attention to the New Day and get them out the ring as quickly as possible.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, yeah, that absolutely has to happen. Like people have to just stay mad about this shit for a long time, and just not let the New Day up. I mean, you saw what happened here in Atlanta on Raw. Like,
man,
they even got Yachty to turn on the New Day. I'm like, bruh, like I love what they're doing, but at the same time, it just makes sense. It just makes sense.
Yeah. That is it's great. Okay,
So
and then who's everybody's pick for that? I feel like we need to move on to the women's, and then we got 2 matches to go after that.
Who's gonna win it? I feel like we already said that.
I don't remember.
It's hard for me to go against Punk because I feel like they're not gonna have a winner that picks Gunther. It's gonna be the winner's definitely gonna pick Cody, and I feel like the only guy that I can see win it will be either Punk. I'll say this: if it's not Punk, it's gonna be Cena.
Yeah, I agree. There's no way. It doesn't make any sense to give Punk like the Elimination Chamber. And I feel like WWE is also going to learn from last year. Of like, if Cena does win it, you're not going to see him booked in like the Elimination Chamber or Money in the Bank.
And they've been booking that hard as far as like Cena being at an Elimination Chamber. So it's like he kind of has to be there doing something.
Yeah. So it seems like it's going to be CM Punk. Who's my guess?
But he has the deal for Heyman, so like there's no need for him to win.
Oh no. I think their deal comes. See, here we go. Fantasy booking. I think Heyman pulls off that deal at the Royal Rumble, and I think Heyman eliminates Roman in turns.
Nah, see. So here's the deal there, because I feel like because right now Punk and Heyman are both baby faces. I feel like you can't turn one or the other before that favor comes in just yet. I feel like whatever happens there, they have to be on the same side, and then after that point, then you choose. Okay, like, are they still going to be together, or are they still going to be homies, or it's like, nah, we're done. So I'm gonna say the favor isn't going to get paid just yet. I'll probably say it might get paid at Mania.
Okay. Well, we got women's Royal Rumble. Official announced names. Obviously subject to change. Nia Jax, Bayley, Charlotte Flair, Naomi, Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Lyra Valkyria, Ivy Nile, and Io Sky. And I don't see anyone picking Io Sky, but the streets love Io Sky.
I do too. I don't know.
I don't see it. I mean, I feel like, especially with what WrestleMania has become, I feel like you want to have either your most marketable people or your hottest people on that show. And I don't feel like, even though Io is super over in the streets, I feel like they don't prioritize her enough. And it's unfortunate because I feel like, especially with the way this past year has gone, I feel like everybody's best match has come against Io. And I feel like that should be rewarded, but I just don't see it.
Another thing too, I don't feel like they're gonna have the Royal Rumble winner be a current title holder. So that takes what? Naomi and Bianca Belair out. That takes
Chelsea.
Chelsea, Valkyria out. So you kind of look at it and you're like, to be honest with you, I feel like they want Charlotte and Rhea at Mania.
You know what?
I,
Personally, I would love it because I do. Honestly, I feel like um, their match a couple years ago was by far the best match of night one back at 39. And honest, it should have been a main event for real, for real. Um, and I'll die on that hill saying that. I'm like, that was that's honestly the best. That's the best main roster women's match ever. I'll say that. I'll go that far. It's like it's not quite Bailey and Sasha, but as far as of course that was in NXT. But as far as the main roster goes, best ever. Um,
but I feel like it's too early for Charlotte to win it.
I mean, she's won it before.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. I just think it's too early for her to come back and just automatically win the Rumble. I think it's lose the women.
Like that's the thing. It's like it's like every time with her. Like we've been talking about this. I feel like for the past few weeks, it's like because of like her injuries and the creative's been shitty. I feel like all they've been doing the past few years is like, okay, she'll be gone for like 6 or 8 months. She comes right back, and then she's either they make her champ right away or they slot her in for a title shot at Mania. I'm like, can we get some intrigue there that actually makes sense? And that's what always bothers me. I'm like, I mean, especially like you don't even have to like rush her. Like you have a 2-night SummerSlam now. Like why not save that for SummerSlam instead of just shoving that right in as soon as she gets back from Mania? I'm like that's how you get people to turn against her because it's like it just feels like every time she's there, you just shove her right in everybody's face.
And
like,
everybody does. They really seem to be drooling at the idea of her and being with the Meta Girls, and by everybody,
I did see that picture.
Yeah, and there have been a few other like just on social media. They seem to like that, and I've listened to a few other wrestling podcasts, and they've mentioned it as well. I think
she looks like she's hooked up with Jerome in that picture. So you know.
Well, I mean, that's the right crowd for her to be with, and so like I really hope it is just what every year I just hope they truly use it to again put the rocket on the back of somebody's and like Lash Legend. Like I would love to see Charlotte Flair kick all the ass and then honestly help Lash Legend win. And then because again, it's Charlotte Flair. She could easily like Lash Legend could pick whoever she picks, and then Charlotte Flair will just show up and be like, "Hey, by the way, I'm now in this. It's a triple threat match." Like it's just that's just how Charlotte Flair is. She doesn't need to win anything to do it, but she could easily tie in with Jakara and Lash Legend, help build them, make everyone think that it's Lash Legend, and then she swerves and steals all the glory. And you're just like, "Oh, you're still Charlotte." Ha ha ha. But that could also then still be a lesson to Lash Legend that could like
dirtiest player in the game.
Exactly. Stay
ready. All right, I'm gonna throw a name out there, and I'm gonna see if y'all mess on there or not.
Okay.
All right. Make sure I say her name right. Raquel Rodriguez, and the reason why I say her winning is because I think like she's done a great job of kind of molding herself, being partnered with Liz, kind of being the muscle for that. And I think since Liv and Rhea have run this course, I think now is the time where you can turn Raquel babyface and have her go on her push, almost like a mini evolution kind of storyline where like Batista started to become the babyface, and like Triple H is like the person or Liv in this equation is holding Raquel back. So you can have like Raquel win, and like Liv is like, you should really give me that title shot to get back at Liz. I mean, get back at Rhea.
Except for the crowd does not fuck with Raquel at all. At all. Well, like I like Raquel, but they like at all.
I will say this. I could see something like that, but it would just lead to a match with Liv and Raquel. It just in general.
That's true. That's true. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I just don't. When I look at it, and Grant, this is only 10 out of 30, so we don't know who else is in it. I'm assuming that what's her name from TNA, the women's champion, is going to be involved. You probably get a little bit, couple of more from NXT.
Yeah,
But if you just
and I
show me
did
this 10,
I did a nice little list. Yeah, there's 10, and I was really thinking because this is even another the women even more than the men. I think they need to stay away from like legends because they have enough women that they could do a whole
oh yeah,
30
100%.
by
Yeah,
themselves just with people.
yeah.
Because like Zoe Stark could be in it, but also she could easily miss it. Zelina Vega could also be in it. We got Zarya, Julia, Tamina, Sonya Deville, Stephanie Vicker, Shotzi, Solruka, Shane Baszler, Roxanne Perez, Natalia,
Oh,
Michin,
oh.
Maxine
I can I,
Dupree.
I can definitely see Soruka in there. I can definitely
Exactly. Lola Vice, Lash Legend,
Yeah,
Kiana
but we can
James,
see them
Jade
all later. But like,
Cargill.
maybe it's just me. I
Mm-hmm.
don't. Outside of maybe like the most popular people that we know, Nia Jax, Bailey, Liv, and Io Sky. I, I, I don't see who else can win it. Now, if Becky comes back, okay,
Yes,
or
she's on the
Jade,
rumor, and she's
yeah,
also in the rumor mill.
yeah, or Becky or Jade, then okay. Like I'm like, all right, but
But you have to make
unlike
some
the
of these
men,
people like because
yeah,
it's so top heavy. And especially with these mid card titles, they like Michin. Michin needs to come into the Royal Rumble and have a great show. Like
yeah,
we need some of these mid card people
And
to fill in that spot.
and that's the interesting thing there that I feel like it's with there now being mid card champs. I kind of feel like not just do they want to set up
Piper
the
Niven, I
obvious,
didn't mention her.
they not just do you want to set up the match for the main titles. I also feel like there's room to set stuff up for the mid card titles, for what they end up doing for Mania. So even if like this, I feel like this is where it's probably going to be even more important for the women to have people who stand out and show out for the rumbles because
yeah.
they can use that to catapult themselves to, let's say, like, I want to challenge for either the U.S. title or Intercontinental title, which
Yeah. I was gonna say because Lyra Valkyria, she announced that she's in it, but then Ivy Nile was sneaking up behind her. So
Yeah.
that's
I
what you said that, and I came to mind that I was like,
I
okay, well, Grey goes spot on because I could see that being a thing in the Women's Royal Rumble. Lyra Valkyria and Ivy Nile going at it, and obviously, who else is going to be in the mid card title?
I look forward to the day when Ivy now and Jordan Grace become a tag team. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's a lot of muscle.
I feel like we're a
Ugh.
year away from like how we're looking at the men's Royal Rumble this year, where it's like I forgot who said it. I think it might have been B on the show on the last show, but like how there's 6 people in line for a title shot.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like we're a year away. I feel like Gregor, to your point, like I feel like this Rumble is more so about boosting up those mid card titles
Mm-hmm.
because it seems like it's like a glass ceiling to get into those
Mm-hmm.
upper titles, right?
I mean, that's the thing about, especially with WWE, because I feel like we've been in this is like we're like what this has been almost 10 years since the start of the women's revolution or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel as though what we are what I feel like people have the perception that like every last woman is good. I feel like there's an upper tier of women who are absolutely great. There's some who are good, and then there's everybody else. And I feel as though we gotta right now the mode should be how do we get more women, further up than where they are, and that's where I feel like that's where they can use the mid card titles to be like, okay, like we can use this to kind of like feel this out, say, hey, they look kind of good as a champ. Maybe there might be something that we can, if they do well here, we might be able to see them as a world champ pretty soon. Because like without those belts, you would have women who would just kind of just sit around and just do nothing forever, just waiting for their shot, and that just never made sense. I feel like the mid card belts are probably a godsend right now for the women's division, just as far as just be having the ability to be elevated up the card. And yeah, with the Rumble, you definitely have an opportunity here where you could actually really get a pretty decent showcase to be like, hey, might want to see what's going on with 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 uh with Jade. Let's see what's going on with Michin. Like like I said, you got a little bit of shine here. What if we got B-Fab some shine, like some shit like that? But
Yeah,
it's
she's
something
starting to
that
wrestle. Yeah, she's definitely starting to wrestle more and more now.
yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, but hopefully, like I said this gives more women opportunity to show up. Like I said, like even if you don't win the Rumble, it's something where you're like, hey, I want to use this. Maybe I get more momentum going into the Elimination Chamber, and then that turns into um, a match for Mania.
Okay.
Okay. Who has the most eliminations in the women's? Is that Nia Jax? That's something you give to Raquel Rodriguez.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think Raquel.
I think Raquel. Yeah.
If Jade does come back, I could definitely see her factored into that.
She'll be distracted with whoever eliminated her, if it's Bianca or Naomi. Because I agree with you.
She would have to come in early, and then when Bianca or Naomi comes in, that's when the focus turns to them. And I don't know if y'all have noticed the past couple nights. Did y'all notice like Naomi doing Jade's pin on Raw,
yep.
and then Bianca doing it on NXT? I'm just like, hey, y'all throwing the hints here. I see you. I pick it up. I catch and shoot.
That's storytelling.
Yeah.
Storytelling. Yes.
I got someone who might use that. She might not win it, but I can see Io Sky doing that. Going on.
You still want this Io Sky to happen, don't
you? I'm not saying for her to win, but I think there is a place because there's three things in a Rumble you can do. Like we already said, winner, longest, or who throws out the most people. I think you can fit Io Sky into that. Also, like another person who I didn't think about, who they might throw back out there, is Asuka. We haven't seen her for a while.
So, I just saw her post about.
That's the whole conversation right there. What you're about to talk about, I hope that she's okay.
Yeah.
And if we have to set out the PSA for people out there, like y'all got like, I understand people want to get starstruck when they see their favorite celebs and wrestlers and superstars and stuff, but be easy on them and like that shit ain't cool with because clearly whatever happened to her had her shook and don't be cool with these people, man. Like
what on this?
She tweeted out I want to say it was Monday, and she was talking about like how she had to go to the police about an incident and talk about like how don't come up on her in public, like don't try to like be friends or
she will not be smiling. Like if she's not smiling out and about in public, it's because she is now like basically fearful of herself and her space.
And I'm like, y'all try to mess up the party for everybody, man. Like
Facts.
I get it. Like I said, we see them as heroes and celebrities and everything, but at the end of the day, they're just people. Like be cool with them, like you would be cool with one of us, and like just don't act all fucking weird and shit. Like that's when you fuck up the game for everybody, and that's when you have reactions like that where it's like they don't like when they don't want to end up dealing with us because a couple people end up fucking up for everybody, and that's just unfortunate.
Asuka's actually, because of the fact that like her, because she always has her face beat with makeup and or face paint and or a mask. Like obviously she has like the crazy hair, but I feel like she's one of the few wrestlers who would walk past me and I'd be like, that person kind of looked like Asuka. I don't think I would be like, oh shit, that was Asuka.
Yeah, she's been so, like most of her stuff. She's typically in her wardrobe, so like you really wouldn't you would really
like you have to be like
you would never know, like you would hardly have to recognize her if she just like what, I'm gonna go with brown
just put
hair.
on a hat. Or just put on a hat. Just put on a hat and like walk like she's walking through yeah, if she was just had a hat on walking through the airport, I would just be like, oh, that looks like a cool person. Like that's probably all I would think. I'd be like, oh, that person kind of looks like Asuka, but I wouldn't. Yeah, I'd be like, Asuka, and like lose my mind. Yeah, people who do all that stuff.
If you didn't recognize the hair, you'd be like, yeah, like she's cute, but yeah, you wouldn't want to push up on her. But yeah,
Yeah.
don't fuck this up for all of us, man. Like we all want to be. Like we all have our favorites and stuff, but yeah, just be cool with that shit.
Let them be their own human beings, please, and thank you. Okay, the tag team championship, best of 3, DIY versus Motor City Machine Gun. This is the match to bring tag team wrestling back. Like that's what this aim is for this match.
I can see that. I think DIY will win, but at the same time, honestly, this could go either way because you're talking about, I feel like these guys are ready to put on a show, and I think that obviously with what they've done with the Motor City Machine Gun since they've come through, they're definitely positioning them pretty well. So I could definitely see them pulling it out, but I'm expecting DIY to win.
Yeah, same here.
Well, then I'll be the one person by myself, and I'll say the Motor City Machine Gun crew. Wow. Yeah, that's how excited I am about the raise your fists. Raise your fists. Just like it's kind of lame, but it's all right.
I mean, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. I like them as a wrestling group, though. I think when it's just like pure graps, old school wrestling, Motor City, but the way that wrestling is and how it has grown to being like sports entertainment, that's DIY all the way. And so that's kind of what makes me think.
I feel like they're, if nothing else, they're doing pretty well with just how they create heat for themselves. So, like I said, I could see DIY winning, but yeah, like I feel like this is one of the few cases where like you probably can't lose here, but we'll see.
Thanks.
What else we got, Crunkster?
Well, I was just neither of you guys really seem that moved about this match.
I think it'll be. I think it'll be a very good match. I feel like the purpose here is just more so getting people more behind, tag team wrestling in WWE. Because I feel like that's the one thing since Triple H has taken over. I feel like it's still kind of slacked, and it's been real disappointing because if you go back to how he was doing things back in NXT, like tag teams, like they were burning shit up. And I'm like, I feel like we still have yet to really get that feeling on the main roster, and I feel like this is an opportunity to hopefully bring some of that feeling back, even though it's with teams that, well, at least one team that wasn't even in NXT. But I think that there's an opportunity here to really show up and show out here, and I hope they take advantage of that.
Honestly, when it comes to the Royal Rumble, you're kind of only really caring about the Royal Rumble. Like,
and that's the weird thing. And that's the weird thing because now you have the women's Royal Rumble, you really don't have much room for really any actual matches. It's just like, okay, you have one Royal Rumble that goes about an hour, another one that goes about an hour. So that means you got to make room for the other, 1.5, 2 hours and shit.
And I mean, honestly, like this would have. The reason why I think I'm kind of down this tag team match because this would have been a great fight on a Saturday night main event. And the main event, like this would have been a great Saturday night main event fight
for last week.
But to have it on, on the Royal Rumble, who like it's going to be squashed between the hype of probably the women's Royal Rumble and the men's is going to get lost in the sauce, and then you got the ladder match, like he's just going to get lost in the sauce.
I said I think we'll be all right, but yeah, like I said, like I am slowly cautious. I'm just like I'm gonna say let it cook.
Yeah, sure. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know, man. I'm not trying to be like pessimistic, but I just like, man.
I'm not even all that pessimistic. I just like, hey, just let it cook. Just let it
Yeah,
go.
yeah, no, That's definitely going to be one of those things we need to see. It's like we said, it's a match that's going to bring. That's the aim is to bring tag team wrestling back. So that's good, and I hope for the best for that. Okay, Undisputed WWE Championship match. It is a ladder against two champions, KO and little blonde boy, little peach Brock.
I am
Cross-eyed
interested to
blonde.
see what crazy stuff Kevin Owens is allowed to do with a ladder, because he went to Triple H and WWE directive, and he was like, "Here's a list of the things that I want to do," and Triple H was like, "No,
Fuck no,
no,
man.
hell no."
Have you lost your mind?
What if
But
I
no,
smack Cody in the face with the ladder and then jumped on it? No.
because like if anybody has like any bit of a recollection as far as like the stuff that he used to do, like back when he was like doing Ring of Honor and PWG and all that stuff, and like this dude used to be like some nut ass shit with especially with ladder matches. Like there's like one match in particular with him and El Generico. Of course, everybody knows him as Sami Zayn, and I'm like, dude, like if he manages to do even half of that shit up in there, I'm like, bruh, like
Hmm.
you're gonna have everybody trying to copycat that shit for a long ass time, and I don't know if they're ready for that, but like of course, I still obviously expect Cody to win, but just a just a matter of how he gets there. That's going to be the show in itself because yeah, I expect. First of all, I need for all these shirts that KO's been wearing. I need him to pull up in a Stardust suit. That's all I want.
Oh my God.
I need
That
that in my life. I need that in my life.
that would be hilarious. That would be
I need
hilarious.
that entirely in my life. I need him pulling up full paint, full suit, all that.
And what if
Give it
he
to me.
gets? I know he at AEW, but what if he gets Dusty Rhodes to bring him out?
That'd be funny.
Like, this is the thing I love about KO, because he's a heel. He's supposed to be a heel, but he is so goddamn lovable.
Mhm.
It's like an anti-hero. It is. I mean, he makes sense too, but it's hilarious because like I can see him doing that.
Yeah.
I can see him coming out there with like a slideshow of like Cody's greatest failures.
Hilarious.
Like, what?
What
Man.
you thinking, Crunk? What you thinking?
It's got. And we know it's Cody. I'm. We have to get closer to this. We need to see more evil Cody because that is the only way that I actually care about this match because I already know KO is gonna do his best to carry this and tell a true story. And in the end, Cody is gonna do his fucking tricks and win the match, and it is gonna be whatever, and he's gonna have super pyro, and it's gonna be a 15-minute long intro. I get it, but I'm kind of I get why people boo him eventually after a while.
That's like I remember my high school one of my high school football coaches, Coach Woody. Of course, Yogi would tell you back in the day. Well, actually, even well, of course, we're still pretty good now. But back in my day, variety was the shit.
Yeah.
And one thing that my coach Woody would say was that nobody loves a winner.
Yeah.
Like like it's all good when you're on the way up, but once you're there, nobody likes you. Like shit, we're about to see the fucking Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Everybody wants them to lose, so it's like that's like when when you're dominant for so long, people get tired of that shit. They like, hey, I want some fucking. I'm tired of
You should know
vanilla.
about that as
I
a
want
Man
fucking
City
chocolate.
fan.
I know you were explaining something. And I was like, wait, that sounds familiar. Wait,
Yeah.
I think I know that.
Yeah, it's right there. And
It's like a
but
sliding scale. Like people love parody up until a point where they get tired of parody and then they want to die. It's the thing, like not to make this soccer league, but it's the issue with MLS. Like people hate MLS because there's too much parity and they want a dynasty. Until you have a dynasty, and then you're like, well, now I want parity.
That's a whole sidebar right there. I know we ain't got enough time for, but he's still right.
Yeah. Is there any way that KO wins this?
No. Because you need Cody carrying that belt in the WrestleMania.
I feel like the window where KO could have won would have been back at the Saturday Night's Main Event back in December.
And the dirty little cheat Cody.
Yeah.
But at this point, no, it's got to be Cody.
Okay.
I think Cody loses it after WrestleMania, and then you start getting. Because what I really let me ask you this. We can talk about this real quick. It don't have to be long, but we all want to see evil Cody, correct?
Yeah.
I think at this point, I say this. I want to see the meltdown that really leads to that. That's what I want to see.
Okay. What type of evil Cody do you want to see? Because me personally, I want evil CEO Cody. Like, that's what I want. Like evil CEO Cody that is like pulling strings, is like manipulating his way back into the title scene, or like just doing that grimy behind the stage stuff. Like, oh, I'm not gonna fight you. I'm gonna send out my henchmen. I'm gonna send out these guys.
Say I love you.
Yeah.
I don't hate you. I love you.
I did this because I love you. It's all that matters. Like, I also want to see. I'll bring that up later. But yeah, my phone right now.
So during the period of Cody's excursion away from WWE, there was a point in time when he was with Impact, of course, TNA and everything, and I feel like that was the most clear vision of what I see Cody's heel persona to be, because like we didn't quite get it all the way when he was working New Japan, and I think that we just got the tip back when he was a Ring of Honor. TNA was that point in time where it's like, yeah, we're getting somewhere there. Like, he was absolutely the most cockiest shit ever. He would belittle people and just be the most manipulative guy on the roster. Like, pretty much like, think of it like Ric Flair on steroids. and I feel like that's what, because like, to pull it back even more, like back when Cody was first on the roster in WWE, the dream angle that I always saw for him would have been him becoming the new Nature Boy, and that would have involved obviously Ric Flair. It would have involved his dad. It would have involved his brother. Would have involved everybody up in that. And of course, it would have involved him eventually going from the dark hair to the bleach hair and changing up his look. And I feel like you can still have the persona. Obviously, you can't do the Nature Boy from at this point in his career, but I feel like, yeah, that heel persona is taking that Nature Boy and really turning that shit the fuck up.
Oh my gosh. Hold on. Sorry. Tell me about AJ Lee. I know nothing about her.
Okay.
I know she's CM Punk's girl, but it's rumored that she's gonna.
Was. So this is right before the women's revolution. So this is when you had the Bella Twins.
Yeah.
Who else, Grego?
Eve Torres.
Yeah, Eve Torres. Was Naomi there?
Yeah.
Yeah, Naomi. But AJ Lee was like champion. She was like, this is what I think WWE realized. Obviously, you had the Four Horsemen. We didn't really realize it. But this is what I think WWE realized, like, oh, they can really like wrestle. And AJ Lee was like the first one of that. Now, unfortunately, was it injuries that forced her to retire or just burnout?
Well,
I can't quite remember.
There might have been some injuries with that, but for the large part, it really just was everything was tied to everything that happened with Punk.
Yeah,
and because when he left, of course, remember when he left at the Rumble back in 2014, he was still under contract. And of course, he basically just sat out the rest of his deal. What WWE did was they fired him on his wedding
Yeah.
Yeah.
day, and but of course, in the midst of all that, you still had AJ who still was on the roster for
Mm.
another year, and it was like it basically became really awkward as far as having her still there while you have all this animosity towards her husband. And
Mm.
so she said, "You know what? Let me just go ahead and cut left here." And she pretty much has stayed retired.
Just
Now, of
remove
course,
yourself. Okay.
the prevailing rumor is trying to get her back into the ring. Of course, like if you even watch the behind the scenes at when Punk came back, like Bailey's hugging him. Like the first thing she even tells Punk was like, "Bring her back in." Like and and Punk acknowledges that, hey, there were a lot of women on that roster that look to AJ as an inspiration as far as how they ended up getting to the ring and
Mm.
getting into wrestling. And like because like Yoki said, like for she kind of was that one that stood out amongst all the divas because she wasn't like, even though she was massively cute, she wasn't all super dolled up, she wasn't like all primped and pretty. Like she was like kind of like a rough and tumble tomboy for the most part. And like there are a lot of women who identified with that and said, hey, I can do that shit too.
Mm.
And like
She was like Becky Lynch. If you think
I can
about
see
it
that.
that way, she
Yeah,
was like Becky
yeah,
Lynch.
yeah,
Like she can hold her own. She can go between styles, so she can be like an acrobatic wrestler, but then she can also be somewhat of a heavyweight. Not I want to say like heavyweight, but like she could throw her own.
yeah,
And she can put on good matches. Like she has some
yeah.
good matches.
And I feel like, especially given obviously who was in charge at the time, like even like she had a very good a long run as the Divas champ,
Mm-hmm.
and of course as a matter of retaliation, they they like she was the longest reigning Divas champ for a while, and then they gave that record to Nikki Bella. And just basically just as a dig against Punk, basically it's like, nah, like I'm about to shit on your girl because of this shit. But but yeah, like I feel like obviously
Mm.
she that was like what 20. I think her last match was 2015, I believe. So
Oh
you're
wow.
like you're going on 10 years now. I think she's not even 40 yet. She's like maybe
37.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
like
I looked it up.
she's I would say by now, obviously whatever injuries I would presume are resolved. It's just a matter
Yeah,
of
you would hope.
just get this. It's just a matter of getting back in the ring and seeing if you still want to do it. And I feel like there's there's so much that could really happen there if it actually happens. That obviously if she was going to the Rumble, then that would really turn things up by a whole lot because I feel like you could do something. You could probably do something with her and Rhea. I don't really see too much with Tiffany. But yeah, either way, like there,
Mm.
like you have a whole new roster of women there that you could put up against AJ and probably have a better than average match. Of course, she can talk, so
Mm-hmm.
there won't be an issue as far as promos are concerned. Obviously, she could carry her own before she even got with Punk. Of course, mind you, as she once famously said, talent is not sexually transmitted. But yeah, um,
Mm.
that's like I hope it happens. I hope
Yeah. It
because
would
I
be
feel
cool to
like
see.
yeah,
It'd be cool to see.
All right.
that like that
Look
that
at
that
that.
line was that line was so cold. I was like, God damn.
Yeah, it's a
Because
banger.
it was towards the Bella Twins. Of course, that was back when Nikki was still with Cena and Brie was obviously with Bryan Danielson. So it's like, yeah, this like that shit doesn't just rub off.
I mean, they still got very popular anyway, which
I mean, people love
that's
love a good
another.
reality. People love a good reality show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and twins.
And twins.
Mm. All right. Well, this was nice. This was wonderful. I'm excited, and I'm very much looking forward to this Royal Rumble. Yogi, Grego, we'll start with you, Yogi, first. Please let viewers, listeners know where they can
Hold on.
find you.
Did we get winners? Did we get prediction on them?
Yeah, it's
we did, but we're not excited about it.
it's Cody. Of course, it's Cody.
Honestly, that's what it is. We're not excited about it.
I thought
This has nothing to do with the women.
I
It's just the way how the roster is. It's not exciting.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, I will say this: it's about time Bianca gets back into the singles mix. I will say that.
Wait, why are we going back to the women? I thought you picked all you. That was like the first thing you guys did was like you picked winners.
No,
yeah, we did.
No, we did.
Yeah, you know, you guys did. You definitely like immediately. You like shot your shot immediately, and we're like, these are the people who I think are gonna win. Yeah. You're like Charlotte, blah 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 blah.
That, hey, don't blame me. Like January's been like 500 days, man. Whatever. But yes, socials. Blue Sky, FTC Grego, FTCUT.com. We're gonna figure something out with this damn Twitter shit. FTCUTD Pod on Instagram and TikTok, and yeah,
I deleted that shit.
And that's a whole conversation right there. But yeah, you know what? Like, get at us one way or the other. Find us.
Yogi,
what's going on, everyone? So as you know me, I'm the fantasy booker of the show. You can follow me on Blue Sky at that guy Yogi. I forgot the whole name, but if you type in that guy Yogi, you'll see me screaming half-wittedly in a tattoo chair. That's me. Yeah, enjoy the Royal Rumble, folks, and just remember, if you don't book it, just make sure Vince McMahon doesn't get his hands on it.
That can be taken so many different ways.
Yeah. That's what it's there for, folks. Just remember, don't let Vince McMahon touch it, because if he does, it's going bad.
It's going real bad.
What about the Pod Crunkster? Where can they find us?
You can find us on Blue Sky, YFW Podcast, and anything in the whole Shades of Blue Network umbrella at Shades of Blue NW on Instagram, Twitter, and Blue Sky, and Threads if you're on Threads. Goodness gracious.
Threads missed their shot. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, no, they definitely they tried. All right, that's the end. Appreciate all you guys. Rate, review, thumbs up.
Are we doing the live show? Like, I know I won't be there because I'll be up there. I'll be doing a fireplace thing up in Richmond. Are we doing the live watch?
Probably not. Probably not.
Oh man. But we will still be live skeeting.
Yeah, no, we'll definitely be live skeeting.
Yes, in the show. In the goddamn show. In the goddamn show.
There.
Got this man having hand motions with it. In the goddamn
But
show.
yes, this is your favorite wrestling podcast. For your favorite faction, Yogi, Crunkster, this is Grego. You can't be good. Be bad out this bitch.
Be that, baby.